Iko Nini.
Iko Nini.
Episode 203 tukisema like, subscribe, hit the notification button, tell a friend to tell a friend, sindio?
Yeah.
Alafu usisahau jo, kaisho imekubamba, make sure your super thanks pia imetingika kidogo, sindio?
Yeah, you're super welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, alafu leo tuko na mse ule, kawe ni mzee kama mimi, maybe unaweza need introduction, lakini kawe ni mse Myanki, of course unamjua. Tuko na Kagwe Mungai. Kagwe ni aje?
Cheers. Ni aje?
Unajua vile usikie vile nimejitoa kwa noma. Unajua kama mtu ni mzee kama mimi, unajua. Watu wangu ni wale wanajuanga. So apart from Nameless, who else sings? Unajua.
Kama mjui kamwe.
Yeah, so ni aje buda?
I'm good. How are you, Mazi?
Sit kopo.
It's good to meet you officially.
Yeah.
Officially.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of the show. I'm a fan of the music.
Asante.
Yeah, happy to be here, Mazi.
Yeah. So umekuaje?
Niko fiti.
Yeah.
Busy. 2023 has been a very, very busy year.
Yeah, album ulisha release album. Ilitoka when?
In June.
Oh, June.
Yeah.
So it's 2 months old. Iko kwa all streaming platforms. Inaitwa Rada. Yeah.
Rada. Yeah, so it's my second studio album.
Yeah. After Spectrum.
Yeah. Also self-produced and now independently produced with our in-house label.
Yeah.
OB
What?
Africa.
Spectrum was not independently produced.
No. Spectrum ilikuwa kwa label flani, Taurus Music. Yeah.
Oh, Taurus ni ile ya Nigeria, was it? Is
exactly.
it? Okay.
Yeah,
so, how did you find yourself in Nigeria? Like,
I don't know. There was a time, like sometime 2013, 14 there.
Yeah.
Mziki it takes a lot of money.
Yeah.
It really takes a lot of money, a lot of effort. You need a team, and I didn't have any of those things.
Yeah.
So I thought the easiest way is to find somebody who I can work with and we can collaborate on a kind of a partnership. Because a lot of these to record label deals you find they exploit artists, Anna.
Yeah.
You sign away your whole life and then you live there in debt.
Yeah.
They have these things called recoupable advances, which means that if they pay for studio time, they pay for video, they pay for what, before you start making money,
lazima warudishe.
Exactly. So
and normally how inflate, sindio? They can't give you like if they've paid 1,000 bob for studio, they won't charge you 1,000 shillings. So they'll charge.
Yeah. Now they can say whatever.
Yeah.
The good thing is that wasn't my case. That wasn't my experience. I made sure that I checked those contracts just properly. I had a good 3 years there.
Yeah.
There was a time we were there with Kinadela.
Okay.
Yeah, we made some good music with Della at that time. And then Della's contract issued, her she didn't renew, and then mine issued as well. And then now I started pursuing my other things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So for like an upcoming artist, do you feel like that's worth it? Yo kusaina record label kayo? Because I'm feeling like Taurus is big.
Yeah.
It's just in my mind.
Yeah. Taurus, especially around from between maybe like 2010 to like around the time now I was living around 2019 there.
Yeah.
They were responsible for, in one way or another, guys like Kina Camp Mula, putting some of those things together. There was Yemi Alede who was involved with them at some point. Atemi, various different artists passed through Taurus at some point.
Yeah, even Atemi.
Yeah. So the Ike who is the owner of the label, he's a Nigerian guy and very, very, very sharp guy. That really, really understands the business. And for me, that was one of the things I wanted to do, when I was joining the label. I want to go and understand, because me one day I want to have my own label, my own business. What works, what doesn't work, So that's the position I had put myself in, to be able to go and learn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nakani Nigeria nikoshua ni Ike, si Ike?
Ike.
Yeah, because unajua kimita Ike, anazajitetea, I'm not the one who slaps my wife around. You remember the other Ike?
The Ike and Tana.
Yeah. That Ike Tana guy was, wow. Alafu uliwahi watch your movie? Yeah. Like the Ike Tana movie, it's Lawrence Fishburne and Angela Bassett. Like Lawrence Fishburne alicheza hiyo character so much, you'll hate him. Because they'd been a car and he just starts smacking her around before and on stage. Like some violent dude used to smack Tina Turner. That's why naambia Ike, just call yourself Ike. Anaweza enda US.
Hapo umejionyesha age.
Yeah.
Tena sana.
Hiyo movie ilikuwa kali sana.
Yeah.
So tukiangalia artists kama of course Dell and Atemi, like they're these very talented artists on such a big label. Why do you feel like hako known like Africa wide ama globally? Because if it's talent, they're very talented. But I feel like, because me I just thought they were on these local labels.
Yeah, I mean it's different from artist to artist. Every artist has a different experience, number one. Number two, I think while Della was at Taurus, she was doing very well. You know, I mean, there was a point when she had that Hello cover, Adele,
in the Swahili
version, you know, that was covered by Vogue. It was covered by so many international outlets, you know. That really propelled her, and she was playing shows all over the world as well. Yeah. So while she was in the label, for sure, I think now she's enjoying motherhood as well. Yeah. But the industry is also harder for women. You know, it's a mainly male-dominated industry, and to kind of work your way up and be taken seriously is significantly harder as a babe. I can't say I understand it, but I empathize. I empathize.
Okay. I think kuna only one industry inakuwaga easier for women. I don't think lazima tuitaje.
Is that OF? Only fans.
Hiyo biashara ya only fans inakuwaga hivyo, and still kitu fani nayo, it depends pia na race. Like white women it's easier, black women it's still harder. And nini kwa talking of white and black, ulicheki clip imekuwa ikigo around the US watu wakichapana, someone throws the hat out,
Montgomery Ball.
Yeah. You saw it,
Yeah, the one where all the black guys came to chapa those white guys. Yeah.
So interesting kuna mtu ana swim like someone swam to the rescue.
And they say black guys don't swim. The guy jumped from his boat just to see that guy over there being beaten because we have to pay back for slavery. You know?
Watu walishuka pale kuli nini zilitembea sana. Alafu nini, of course kuna watu saizi wanashindwa hii jina Kagwe tumesikia wapi before. So I'd say like the two most famous Kagwes in Kenya ni wawili. Kuna Mtahi Kagwe Mungai. Is there any connection family?
Yeah. The former minister, he's my uncle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. For the longest time in my career, I used to deny him. I used to go places and guys would be like, Kagwe, there's another minister for ICT, akona hiyo jina. I'm correlated. I'm like, I've heard the name, but I meet.
It
was mainly because I didn't want people to think that that's where I'm starting my journey from. Right? That it's not actually to deny it. Obviously, that's my family, and they've been a big part of my life. But my journey has been my own. You know, it has never been necessarily influenced by that in any way, you know. But as soon as now it comes out, and when it came out, because he's the one who said, he was on an interview, he's like, even Kagwe is my nephew. Oh yeah, even Kahush is my son. We have golfers, we have these, we have that. So I was like, now the cat is out of the bag. Sawa, tuendele. But from there was also now this thing of but see now you're now when you say, you know, you started with the silver spoons, what, which for me I don't think is the case. I have had my privilege. I have definitely had my privilege, but when from the same family, but boma yangu ni tofauti.
Okay. Alafu ni tunapunga jua silver spoon baadaye. There's nothing wrong with that.
Tunazita head start.
Inaitwa head start.
It is. I mean, you play the cards you're dealt. Everybody gets cards you're dealt. You play the ones you have. And again, I'm grateful for what I have.
Yeah. So the name, so Kagwe is your uncle on which side, mom or dad side?
On my mom's side. My mom and him are brother and sister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So my granddad is the one who was Kagwe Mutahi. Then, you know, in Kikuyu you just exchange the names like that.
Oh, okay.
So me, I'm the second born. My dad is, so my brother has my dad's name.
Yeah.
And then now me, I took my grandfather's name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Uni, interesting. Jojo si name na time umezaliwa. Of course you take your father's name, but the other thing is all about what time you are born.
Time, season.
So mi nilizaliwa asubuhi kabisa. I mean nilizaliwa like around what is it called, like 6 a.m. So ni Onyango.
Okay. That's why you hate waking up.
Yeah, I should love waking up, I think, because life inakuwaga nini, inakuwaga beautiful sana. Okay, so hii nini during hii time ya covid after wasawa juu kuna wasa walikuwa nakudungia ko like hata wasani siwambie jua nko yako jua achilia hii kafyu.
The phone calls I was getting. Sasa skiza pigia nke msho niko na masks tufanye busy sijui kuimport nini alafu sijui what there are many guys who had many ideas for biashara. The number of business proposals I got during covid, and if it makes sense I can forward it, but that's as much as I can do. Because I'm not there sitting with him, we're deciding at which things Kem says what that's not my work. You know?
Also what will go on that Kemsa scandal through okay.
So guys are now saying we can do some business together. I'm like no. Him, he has his job, may have my job. Because I was expecting like small favors like curfew inainuliwa when want tenders. Watu wako na za ovyo.
At least gig yako isikuwe na social distancing.
I was expecting when nini. Okay, na nini vile time vile kwa tunasikizi ma theories zote za ma conspiracy theories about covid. Ulikuwa nazo, considering now you had someone very close in the family, were you afraid of taking the vaccine? Ulikuwa na hizo cause mimi najua mpaka watu mpaka leo who've never taken the vaccine.
Did you take it?
I took it.
Okay. Me I mean I didn't have any information that the public didn't have. To start off with, but I mean, it was also a scary time. Everyone, me, I think I was washing my vegetables with sabuni, just so everything, the guy touches the door, delivery, unapanguza tena. Remember those early days? Don't go outside, don't talk to people, don't touch. It was scary, was it?
It was scary.
It was scary. So, me, I was definitely taking the precautions. Me, I wanted it to end because also, I mean, our industry is it revolves around people and meeting people and seeing people and congregating with mass amounts of people. So the quicker we can get there, me sign me up. I'll take whichever dawa.
So ulienda hiyo nini? Ulienda gani? AstraZeneca ama cause mimi nilienda ile niliambiwa hii hautaumwa na kichwa. Cause Moderna apparently kunatandika watu cause like bro wangu alichukua, one of my bros took Moderna and he was down for 3 days. Mimi nilichukua AstraZeneca. It's so good. I was there just walking around.
I took I think maybe I even had a cocktail. I don't even remember. I think the first time I took AstraZeneca haikuwa mbaya. Then I did Moderna, the second one.
Kwa kubali.
That's the one you feel the real COVID.
You feel. But I hear it's more effective. That's why inakutandikaga hivyo.
I took Moderna.
Kweka chini.
Libit.
Kitungo niko like nikaambiwa like just don't take painkillers. Niko like I'm strong za nini.
Ulichukua Moderna lini? Arizona muuliza nini? Ulisikia conspiracy theory nyingine? Bill Gates anatry ku reduce population. So unajua huyu since alipata mtoi ni anataka kujua alichukua nini. Bill Gates didn't go with.
No, actually I think yangu iliongeza chances zangu za mtoi because it was after.
It can multiply.
I think 98% yangu ilikuwa active on the other side.
Because kulikuwa na hiyo. Na unoshenda hiyo booster. Because I hear apparently before you travel you need a booster, and I'm like, no, I don't need any extra stuff.
These days I don't think they're that strict on the airlines about the boosters. I think sometime last year walikuwa strict sana. Like, show where's your certificate? Did you get the thing? These days I think they're a bit more relaxed. That thing of what is it called?
Social distance.
Not social distance, when just human beings, because all of us have gotten
herd immunity.
Herd immunity. I think it happened. Enough people got it that enough people's bodies were able to just kind of work through it. But I'm not a scientist or a doctor.
So I said naibonga from ile like layman. Wachikisia taki tenda. Mimi nataka tu kujua like if there was any in whatever
Yeah.
okay cause mi hata umenishtua mi hata nikikuliza story didn't think anyone would think of attend watu ni I think to a certain level pia it's disrespectful if you had to call me for a corruption deal I'm like Buddha
Sometimes it's not even about corruption. It's just I think Kenyans cinema hustler I think we're so entrepreneurial, you know, like we'll find an opportunity to make money somewhere, you know, and if I know somebody because it's networks, if I have an idea that by the way nikisell hii kitu niko na hii systems because there were guys who were actually they had some really really good ideas. I think guys were using UV rays to disinfect products and they wanted to put UV rays inside like hospitals so that when you enter it's supposed to clean you like that. So it's clever things, you know.
That
some
makes
things
sense.
that make sense, but how will you start? You can't just now send a letter to the ministry and start now talking. It's easier if I know somebody who knows that guy, you know.
Yeah, okay. I think we're uko nini cause mi nafikiri ningechukua personally buda jo
But it's true you're finding guys who you haven't talked to sijui in I don't know how many years wanakupigia out of the blue.
I'm on a press conference.
Kagwe, long time has it? Yeah. No, it's good to hear from you. Good to hear from you. You just know something is coming. So now.
wamesikia whispers.
Okay. Hiyo ilikuwa nini sana. So hiyo time uli spend aje cause I don't know if you look at it differently, but COVID affected the musicians but helped comedians. Do you think because I think
theory.
without around COVID ndio Flacco cartoon comedian there are people who just shot
Kena.
up kabisa Kena they became super big around COVID but for musicians they had to take that backseat kiasi of course revenue ya shows had to disappear
True.
uko na ifilaje your time
I never actually thought about it like that. Because before COVID, I don't know if you remember, but Gengeton was blowing up.
yeah
Gengeton was blowing. Gengeton was everywhere. In fact, at that point, I was so sure this is going to now be our Afrobeats. This is going to be our Amapiano. Because Amapiano was also bubbling at around the same time. In 2019 there. Because I went to SA and let me tell you, I experienced Amapiano now before it was the global genre. You go somewhere there to Soweto and one of those two restaurants. Those guys dance. Everything they do is dancing. Senatoka cab, he's dancing. He's on the phone dancing. You know, they dance for everything. And then that sound, the way they move to it.
they use every part of their body yeah.
And then lyrically, it was also very vulgar when they started.
Yeah, okay.
You know? Yeah, so there were all of those two things that you're hearing. It was the same as our Lambalolos. You know, the subject matter was the very same thing. So I was like, they're starting. This is it. It's beginning. COVID came, boom. And it kind of shut it down. And I'm not saying that Gengeton is dead.
Yeah.
Because I think I still believe that it's Gengeton is an evolution of Genge and Kapuka and the bounce and all of these different things that have come over the period of Kenyan music history.
Yeah.
But it was definitely on the rise, then it took a dip.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you nini. So, your time ukiwa essay, like, when you're saying like people are dancing, like, on a random like vile siwaga kwa matri mtu anaweza shuka anze tu kudance
Maze on the side of the road and you know us when we see guys dancing on the side of the road amechizi bro, anybody anywhere anytime
essay
they're dancing. Those guys they're dancing.
That's such different cultures.
It's crazy.
And do you think that's maybe one of the reasons why it becomes a global thing? Because if something is ikiwa accepted locally to that level, maybe at some level si wenyewe tuko huku nje tuko like yeah maybe this thing is as good as. Do you feel maybe that plays a role? Because sisi we like fighting things. Like if kids started dancing gengeton in the streets, I'm sure people would be like wanatumia bangi
yeah it's
and
true.
then we'd try and fight it as fast as possible.
Yeah. And it's also culture, you know. Those guys have come. My theory is that when you have a culture that has gone through oppression and hardship as a people, amazing art comes out of that. You know, look at like Black America and the hip hop evolution. You know, SA and that the music they come, because at that point you're not allowed to communicate. You're not allowed to do anything. All you can do is express yourself through song, through creativity and that sort of thing. So that's your only way to communicate and to outlet. As we've had our challenges as Kenya, but aside from COVID, we've never had a period where in Kenyan history, education has been stopped. At Yani now we have to stop schools because things are crazy. You know, it has never happened. So we've had actually a very, compared to other African nations, we've had a very, very easy history.
Tumekuwa since independence imekuwa like kiasi. Although kuna tu freedoms tumepata ile moyo tutandika kidogo. But compared to the essays of this world, yes, we've had like a very smooth ride. Ikuza tu nini. Okay. And pia hii nikigo back to family, wena Kahush mshafanya kitu pamoja cause
No, not yet.
That's it. Yeah, kwa nini? Na nyinyi familia ama kuna kugana ile mna feel ni kama cause we expect it. You're like, if I could happen.
No, it's not that we don't want it to happen. I think it's the right time. We have to find the right time, the right project, the right song. When I was working on this project, it was somebody that I considered for Rada. But he was in the UK. He was doing exams. Alikuwa na focus sana na shule, so it wasn't the right time, you know. Him, he was making my project, me I was putting out mine, so there was no time for me to put now my things in his project. But we chop it up. He shows love, I show love, you know. I will always write for that kid. Sana. He's such that kid is a rock star, maze. That kid is a rock star. Kahush. Kahush is a rock star, bro.
But really, it's interesting. Like, I'd want to... grandma still alive?
Yeah.
Where do you think the music comes from? Is it grandma, grandpa? Like that art thing? Because the funny thing, unaangalia vile familia yako mko hivyo, I think like when I sit down with my cousins and I'm the only person who's involved in arts. Like the rest akoga mini mwalimu nini akunaga. So for me to see like such close nini, it's interesting to me.
No, it was also a bit surprising because for the longest time it was just me. So from tukienda sana nyuma, like I think my shosho's side of the family is where they were more creative. Her sister, I think, used to dance for the president, for Jomo Kenyatta back in the day. And she was dancing until her 90s. You know, so she was very creative. My shosho loves to sing. Not that she's a performer, but she loves to sing. You know, so she sings in the house. She sings as she's praying. She sings for jokes. So for the longest time, it was just me doing music or anything creative. Then my big bro was doing acting for quite a while. And he does quite a lot within the creative space as well. Kaush was a footballer. He went to all of these academies. Nini, he was planning to play for Kenya. I think he even represented Kenya at like under 17 or something. Umse ni mbaya kwa ball. Kaush ni mbaya kwa ball. And then one day he just decided, actually, mziki naeza.
Let me pick up the mic, put down the ball.
He dropped the ball.
Dropped the ball.
And the mic.
So kwani nini ukibonga juu academies unamaanisha kama gani hizo?
I don't even know what the name is, but there are these academies.
Yamajua mapa Kenya?
I think alifanya both. So you start, when you start in Kenya, you start with the Maligindogos. You know, they have programs. They make sure that you're training every week. You're doing things. You're getting into matches. You're in teams. So you're playing Tuzo. Where. And then now, as he started to get a bit older, wakati za uni and everything is now when he decided, let me go and pursue this thing uko UK. So you go into an academy and you train and you try and you go and meet scouts, talent scouts. Those kind of things, back and forth like that.
Okay. So nini ukaile tani kusema Silver Spoon haikuwa game mbaya. Silver Spoon asaidia because you get to explore things that other people would not necessarily explore. Because hata tukiangalia Lupita, for example, I feel like her going to Yale helped propel her career to the level it reached. Am I the level it's reached? I feel the same.
I think for sure. Me, the thing that I see with going to study or have opportunities to learn outside of the country is the exposure. The exposure. You learn so many different things. You meet so many different people. I remember I was choosing unis when I was going to uni. Back in the day, because even now I'm getting to my OG status. Getting to my Zaddy era.
Yeah.
But back in the day, you know, like Kenyans, we go to the main places we go, Kent, Manchester, those places. That's where you find Kenyans. UK, Wamejaa. That's little Nairobi huko. But for me, I was like, there's no point of going to Manchester, where all of these places, to be surrounded by Kenyans, and I've left Kenya. You know.
So
it makes sense. I'm going to be out there, I might as well meet people from out there. Let me put myself in a position where I can actually network, build, meet people. Like, you could be in the same room as the prime minister, the next prime minister of which country, you know, and that means something. So I think for me that I think was the biggest gift that I think I got from folks, from wazazi, is that I had the opportunity to go and actually meet people in the world and learn about the world.
Because that hiyo story umesema, I think I don't know if you know this reggae group. It was Steel Pulse. It's a reggae group. They were based in Britain. So apparently, I think one of them went to school with Bill Clinton. I think so. It's such an interesting whatever, like and then it's but kunafaa kuona hiyo. Alafu pia I think hiyo kitu pia umesema ndio ina explain like someone like Kiraito. Ukisikia Kiraito went to Harvard, came back with the same accent because he was hanging out with just Kenyans. You know, you keep it you una keep it to just the same people, so you don't even end up understanding the culture, which I feel like ukitravel unafaa ku understand a few things, broaden your mind, whatever. Okay, so tutaongea hiyo story ya like studies, because I found like your educational background is very 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 interesting, but before that wacha to go back to history ya nini Gengeton, because I don't know if I'm old, but mkisema imeisha mushindwa, because I feel like it's still there 100%. But I've heard so many people, tulikuwa na VQuest, we were supposed to do something with VQuest, and VQuest was talking about the same thing. It was like Gengeton was going up and then it went down. But now me from the outside looking in, I don't know if I associate artists with Gengeton, so as long as I'm seeing them, Gengeton is alive. So come to LA, Gengeton, how do you like describe it? Because now I'm starting to feel like I don't understand what Gengeton is.
I think it's a mixture of many things, because it's not just the sound. You know, if you're going to talk about like the sound, yani sauti ya Gengeton and its origins is that boom kabu ka boom kabu ka boom kabu ka, which is the bedrock of most of our Kenyan songs, right? But it's also a culture, you know. It's also a culture. There's like a energy that it has, the same way that hip hop is a culture. Yes, it's a sound, but it's a culture. There's something that comes with hip hop. There's a way guys dress, there's a way that guys talk, there's a way that guys move, you know, dance, all of it. It's a culture. So the Genge culture is still there. The Gengeton culture is still there. It's still growing. I think now when we see it rise again, itakuwa na jina ingine. You know, the same way that at some point there was trap and hip hop, and now there's drill, you know. So it's still hip hop, but it's evolving, it's changing. The name is changing, but the essence is the same. You know, the essence hasn't changed.
Oh, okay, because me nikionaga tu akina like even any member of Ethic and what we just assume this is still Gengeton. So now it's no longer Gengeton.
I think it still is. Me, I would call it Gengeton.
Ingoma mpya ya X-Ray and Major, how would you classify it? Pesa ndogo.
I think that's Gengeton.
So I feel like it's still alive.
And this one ya nani wakadinal no.
Yes, but Wakadinal uko Gengeton.
That one. I think that's definitely also Gengeton.
Because for me naona like pia Gengeton ina push a lot of new sheng as part of the culture. Like inatufunza some words that tukwa some vocabs nini terms zingine tukwa tunajua. Because hata lolo sijui nini wapi
sailors. Sailors walikujaga na lamba lolo ilikuwa ni ilikuwa sailors ndio. Because hiyo time mimi nikifikiria juu ya nini na kumbuka
packaging, like packaging then uko like wamesema packaging, what is packaging?
Wacha niende ni
but ina inform sana the way, like you said, the way guys are talking, the way guys are communicating. Even when I was making this song with Benzima, Mbogi ya Madenge, you know, it's a Gengeton song. Iko na sauce ya Kagwe, but you know, it's a Gengeton song, you know. So even those words, Madenge, I didn't know Madenge before. I didn't know Mbogi came recently as well. All of these things zimekuwa zikigrow and they represent what's happening like with the youth and how the youth are talking and how they're communicating and
yeah cause nini hata vile msema madenge unakuja nilikuwa ni jana majuzi this time tulikuwa tumeka chini na kina Raucha tunaanza nayo jina ni nini
madenge
you know
ni madenge
si tulikuwa ni mangede
ulisema mangede
like jina ni gani
ngede si ni nini ni tei
Gende
ngede
zizi ni mafuta
si mafuta pia
enyejo
like few
umesema je
ni madenge it's that
ina influence
pia the new way of wase vile wana communicate
but madenge ni
just girls
babes
it's just girls sasa ni hiyo tu mandege so ndege birds chicks whatever
na reverse
kuna mse kuna zile movie ni kama kuna mse ali mispronounce alafu we just went with it because it sounded cool I think kuna kwa gana
I think there's a way we have some coolness with this even I was hearing about keja the word keja came from like a bird in a cage you know? A cage is home so kuna keja
kuna keja
the keja
so it comes from cage
okay
sijai juaga hivo alafu because I think kuna time kuna bonga juu ya vile sheng you know sheng the guys who started it in quotes right now are in their 60s 70s that's something that atujuagi so normally shonaga like when you sit down with an older person they always look old especially when you're a kid when you're like ukiwa like before hapo ufike 10 I think even after 10 like everyone just looks old like hata mtu akiwambia iko 25 uko like hey 25 like, wow, that's old so ukikama ufikiria ama buda wako 60 70 are the ones who started this language it becomes very kusuchwa kama fala have you noticed that like if they're there you feel like you know more than them
there's an arrogance that comes with youth
you
know that like what do these old guys know you know the same things that even us we used to say back in the day I think you know like these guys mean they have my 30s wanajua nini you know these old guys but later on you come to understand that you know there's wisdom in it there's but I think it's important that we question it you know we question the things that come before us it makes us grow
plus pia ujue osemaga also idiots get old so see there's not just si ati kuna pure wisdom kwa mbele but kitu agafani ni the older mtu pata una get the more na notice like that wasn't old because mi nakumbuka like I don't know if I go through but naunga kuna time I think Uhuru akiwa 51 alikuwa anachukuliwa as a youth president and I was there I was talking shit like that's old but so this is niko in my 40s because there's that is nini so awe nini kitu moja pia najua juu yako ni wofanya production sindio but apart from production you also do music yani you also sing and you rap hii nini you talked of your brother being an actor alafu nikakuwa interested because I think Brocco
my brother is called Thiru Kim Mungai
Thiru Kim Mungai inakabasisi ama namjua
he did another I think it was a movie called Best Friends Forever. He's done a few cameos on other shows here and there over the years. My adverts, Nini. Okay. He's an MC. He's also my DJ and my hype man when I'm performing. I'm say tall sana. Tall and black. You can't even think we're related, but only my day one.
That's an interesting neneja so ye mwenye at some point was he also trying to rap or do that because mostly I know with younger brothers we always look up to bros sana so the things that they do we end up emulating but mostly unapataga sisi we are the ones who pursue more than them it's a very interesting thing ukiangalia Calligraph na bro wake mi mabro wangu alikuwa napenda sana like reggae music and at some point I was obsessed with reggae wakaacha mi bado nikaendelea so yako ilikuwa the same?
No, it's very similar I think in high school tulikuwa na ban CDs tukiuza in school just to try and make some money So in that process, my bro also got some other software for producing. So he was like, he was telling me, I'm going to learn how to make beats. I'm going to be a producer. So he showed me the thing. And then one day I just cleared that thing, I think, for a week. I wasn't doing my homework. I wasn't cooling. I wasn't lalaing. I was just there, just trying to understand this. How do you put these beats here? How do you do it? Another thing called hip hop EJ. Hip hop EJ. It was like yani chops and samples from like the 90s for hip hop, you know? And just being able to put those things one over the other like that, I was like, wow, this is crazy, right? And then my bro started seeing that, hey, this guy is actually very good at this thing. Let me keep supporting him to do this thing. And we just started going from there. Because me at the time, I wasn't really interested in, you know, being a producer. I wanted to be a rapper.
Oh, okay.
That was the time when 8 Mile came out.
Okay.
So everyone in school were there, were in the corner, tukiwa na ma freestyles. Kwa bus, I'm writing my rhymes in my book, na iweka tu kwa pocket,
design ya rabbit.
Exactly. So hey, that thing was life. Rap was life. But at the time now, sikuwa na instrumentals. So I was like, let me learn how to make instrumentals so I can now have my own songs as a rapper. You know? So I started doing that. Then I didn't have enough time to focus on rap. My friends started asking me for beats. I would make for them beats. And then now I went to Brookhouse. And that's where now I really started understanding music. Because I got another teacher. You know, I think that's teachers can really make or break you. Really, really, really make or break you. This guy, the way he used to teach us music, he used to teach us with like Pharrell, Jay-Z, Timbaland, you know. You're over there, because in the other schools, you're being taught, polyphony, you're going to listen to some old classical piece of music that you don't understand, you can't relate to, you don't feel it in any way. But this guy used to tell us, okay, when Pharrell produces this song like this, you see that thing when he's doing this? That's polyphony. You're like, He's like, okay, now this is why you need to understand harmony. So when Timbaland does this in this song, like you're like, so that's what an arpeggio is. Okay, then you start to understand in a language that you get. You know, you still have to do the theory, you still have to understand the classical, but kuishika and being taught with actual examples that you understand is amazing. You know, these days because of YouTube, that's around everywhere. You know, now you can get that. Before, you just have the syllabus, you know.
But
for me, that helped.
It's also good at YouTube. There's always a difference between a teacher ule mko naye kwa space moja and someone who's online. Of course, because someone who's online, you'll need more inspiration, more what to actually sit down and learn. But ile mtu anakuteach hapa na unajua one-on-one inakuwa na very different feel. Alafu kitu kingine pia nimenotice kwa album zako ni you like this effect ya radio station. Na sisi kawa tu wako kwa the podcast space, there's always this debate about the future of radio. So because we'll come back to music, because we'll say your educational background is super interesting. Radio unaichukuaje? Because I feel like you're still giving homage to radio, which is a good thing. Like you had Adele on Miss Obi, sindio?
Yes.
And then I think hata kwa the new Radas kuna pali kuna radio. Yeah. So kwa nini uifanyaga hivyo? Because it's different, like.
Because me, that's my earliest nini of consuming music, you know. I remember the first time hearing mama nataka kuwa rapa, mtoto umenishinda. I was like, what? And obviously I'd had other rap before that, you know. But Akido telling the mom nataka kuwa rapa is something that it wasn't something that was like discussed. It was such a rebellious thing. Even the way she was describing it, shout out to Nazizi, was such a rebellious thing to do, you know. And for me, I was like, what? You know, so I consumed that on radio. I remember listening to Capitol when you have to wait for the song to come at top 7 at 7 or top 9 at 9.
Top 9 at 9.
You click record, you listen, you stop. You wait for the next one that you like, you record, you know, and that's how you listen and you make tapes for babes in school. This is for you, made for you, Akamix, CV. So for me, my whole upbringing on music was through radio. You know, that's where it really, really, really began. So that's why I think for Miss Obi, it was actually, you know, Adele was one of the first people that gave me a chance for a radio interview.
Yeah.
You know, so I definitely wanted to also pay that forward as well, and to just give her flowers.
Yeah.
And then for Rada, it's that thing of the tape. You know, you hear the the recording, the rewinding, because that for me was my experience. You know, and I wanted people to take people to that place. You know, of this is how we used to listen to music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how important is radio now, like for like modern music? Because at some point it was everything.
It was everything. Radio can still be important. You know, the truth is, in Kenya, we still have a very huge audience that consumes radio on a daily basis. It might even be very close to like digital in terms of numbers. Yeah?
I think it's even bigger.
Yeah, it might be bigger.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's too curated. Yeah, it's too in niche, right? So it's a lot of vernacular. You know, there's these minoros and everything. Those are the ones that really have the biggest.
Yeah, the masses
in that kind of way. So I think there's life for radio there. There's life for radio if it can evolve.
Yeah.
Because this today in 2023 is the way people are consuming our content. You know, guys are more selective. You know, radio, you go on and you get what you get. You know, now I want to listen to somebody specific. I just go on to Spotify, I search for a podcast. Boom.
Yeah.
Iko Nini. Yeah.
And also want to listen to music.
Yeah.
I just look for the music, and then when nini,
Rada.
you can once they rewind, once they forward.
Yeah.
Na your time when you used to like rely on radio, like did you have maybe a great experience or a bad experience iliojaisahau na radio? Maybe the first time your song was played, because that used to be a big thing.
Yeah.
Like first time your song is played on radio.
Yeah. No, I mean, me, my first I guess my first project, my mixtape, I put it on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
You know, so that's, I feel like as a millennial, we are there in the middle of
digital and analog
era. You know, we've seen and experienced both in their fullness. You know, so my first project was out there, but like I remember being in high school and, you know, sending my requests on radio. I want to do my request to Julie. Just want to tell you I'm thinking about you. Happy birthday. Cheza lean back ya Fat Joe. So siweje ikiwa Luya na salamu, but mko mnazirusha pia nyinyi. Sana.
Salamu, it used to be like a whole thing.
The Dicks.
Salams Club and what.
Zilikuwa zina hit different ukizisikia kwa airwaves.
The guy is calling, sing your name on the radio. It's crazy.
So sisi hero wetu alikuwa for a certain period, naweza sema mimi nitaanza mapema kabisa. So the hero was Obachi Machoka, then it was Jimmy Gathu, then I'd say Eve D'Souza. Wewe heroes wako wa radio, like who did you find? Because I think up around teenagehood, that's when now you start getting your radio heroes.
Definitely Eve D'Souza, Jimmy as well. You know, because the thing is, because of my upbringing, we also moved around a bit. So I wasn't always in Nairobi.
I will call you side ingine ukisikiza the real YFM.
That other YFM.
Because tu trabonga juu story ya hiyo side ingine.
Na pia ya UG. So like there was influences from there. For sure. But kina Eve D'Souza, that top 9 at 9. I never missed it. Capital FM was everything.
Okay. So UG pia iko na its own Capital FM, because vile umetaja UG.
They have their own Capital FM.
It's just called Capital FM. Na ni ya Kibabi ama ni that accent of theirs?
It still comes there.
It
still comes in. I think with time now they've started to try to be a bit more local. You know, as guys have started to become a lot more proud of where they are from. You know, I think before it was like, oh, kama kuna accent, you're a smart, successful person, you know. But now I think it's important that guys want to see somebody that looks like them, that talks like them, that they can relate to. So
na nini TV ilikuwaje
kwako? Channel O,
tukikip it hapa Kenya ilikuwa the beat.
The Beat. Tunaweza sema STV.
MCM.
Unakumbuka STV?
MCM.
Ikuenta MCM, yes.
MCM.
MCM which stand to Trace. Ama what's the connection between Trace and MCM? Because I feel like one day kulikuwa na Trace, one day kulikuwa na MCM.
Yeah.
Then the next minute I'm seeing Trace.
Yeah.
And then I've seen Trace since then.
I don't know the connection.
MTV.
I don't. I'll ask my brother. My brother works with Trace.
But MCM ni
Okay. MCM ilikuwa hiyo ni
That's a throwback.
because now STV the funny thing about it was now sisi kuna time now STV used to show up like sometimes alafu na time
ina lost.
Yeah.
so kulikuwa na like the first time I ever watched Oz unajua ile Oz ya HBO it was that version of STV. They used
Really?
to go through my experiments.
Yeah.
So try to imagine like no like people are cursing, people are being stabbed. Wanashindwa hii kitu ni nini? Yeah. It was
Mi nilikuwa najua tu around 5 around 5 ilikuwa inaleta hiyo MCM
Yeah.
sijui ni 5 to 6
Yeah.
and then ungeniuliza STV to me ilikuwa a music channel.
Even me.
Sikuwa najua
for music.
because maybe tulikuwa naambwa tulale
And what
then
happened to
inaapia
it?
na Oz.
Nini ilifanyikia?
It's time.
It's television. It was satellite television.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
STV.
STV I think satellite television.
Yeah, I knew it, maybe it's Stella TV or something.
I think so.
Yeah, it was when yeah. Unakumbukaje STV you remember it for music still?
For music. And again, it was something that either my bro or my older cousins would be putting on, you know. Their guys are dancing in the living room, sijui nini, tukicheki manini. Yeah, so that's my earliest memory of it for sure.
Oh, because I'd want to know what happened to it and that nini. Na sasa nini vile tumebonga juu ya the role of radio. What's the role of TV right now, like in modern music? Do you feel like TV still has a role?
Yeah, I think in the same way, if guys are evolving, you know, if TV stations are evolving to the point where you have to understand who you're talking to, you know. In business, we always talk about, at least at our company OB Africa, we talk about positioning, right? And we work with various different brands, and you have to understand who exactly are you talking to, right? And if you're talking to guys who are consuming on Jaramogi, then you need to be on Jaramogi. You know, that's where you need to be, because that's your audience.
Ni Ramogi.
Oh, it's Ramogi. Oh, my bad. Msini roast kwa comments.
It's just interesting. Mupenda kuenjoy akina Ian vile sometimes when I'm talking about even like Kikuyu stuff mupotea kabisa, so na understand vile nasema Jaramogi. I was like
don't worry, just make your errors.
That's a university. Jaramogi is a university, and then of course Buddha nani pia alikuwa Jaramogi.
Okay, yes, of course.
So in Ramogi.
So Ramogi, those ones, I mean, that if that's where your audience is, then you have to be there. But if you know your audience is consuming on digital, then you have to be either on Ramogi and digital, or just digital. But you have to be able to meet your audience where they are. Yeah.
Oh, I'm saying because una understand that side. What were your feelings about Kiss TV? Vile ilikuwa ina exist?
I was very excited for Kiss TV actually. Yeah. I at the time when it was coming up, I really felt like it was going to go very far. I'm not sure why they weren't able to make it.
Because kitu fani ni me felt like it came too late. Like if Kiss TV had started in the year 2000, because na feel kama ilikuja time internet inaanza and now it didn't make sense. Because I remember Adisia the time Adisia ya Rabbit ilifika like 400k. I remember thinking like, if Adisia is at 400,000 views, what's this TV station going to bring? Because sasa now people are moving, because you have Channel O closed, MTV closed down. It became more of reality shows but not music
as much.
So all gonna feel, why did you feel like it stood a chance? Because me from day one I just knew this one was not going to survive, but I think it's because of my radio background.
Me I think I was just hopeful, you know, because even Homeboys, remember Homeboys had Homeboys TV?
Homeboys TV,
there was Homeboys TV.
Kufad pia.
Kufad, they even had Homeboys Water. Remember the Magic?
Yeah, Homeboy's water.
H2O.
Yeah, H2O.
Oh,
Yeah.
H2O. It was-
H2S.
Yeah. I'd forgotten about that.
So I was just excited for it, and also because it had the backing of Radio Africa.
Yeah.
You know, and Radio Africa, I think, out of the media houses, is definitely top 3.
Yeah.
You know, and has been top 3 for a while. So I think my optimism was coming from, there's no reason why it can't work.
Okay.
Yeah.
So ujai nini ujai kuwa na hiyo ile you see a business and you're like I don't think this is going to, because me I always have that kibad tabia ile now sometimes I have to just shut up because more feel like I'm too negative. But yeah, Kiss, I don't know kawa niliwe kuambia, but kuna time nilikuwa naambia watu like ikito it makes sense like the people they are targeting just didn't make sense. Like if they had some I think like if Inoro, like we are saying, Inoro TV or Ramogi TV start doing the same thing, it makes sense because they are targeting that person in like a rural area with maybe no too much internet access. But CC, saizi like let me just go. Nikienda YouTube, I can find your music. I can listen like 50 times. Why do I need someone else? Alafu siku hizi kuna akina Nairobi Gossip Club, Mpashogram. They give me the latest news. So ukiniambia like, before the commercial, we are coming back to talk about, nisha Google nikajua the person
because you're consuming content of the go.
One of my very good friends, Eric Muli, he's the CEO of Lipaleta. He was telling me that he has obviously access to all the music, Spotify's, whatever, right, that he wants to listen to. But when he's in the car, he listens to radio, you know.
Okay.
He listens to radio because he likes those 2 stories. Those things of that. There's a Kanani who called Nini, there's like a thing that happens. And as you're driving, that for him is entertainment. So he always has his, unless he's now with other guys and we want to now jump to whatever, he's always going to have the radio on, you know, on radio. So there are guys who I think still really, really, really like to consume from radio in that way. But from the new generation of internet connected people, they have to evolve, and they have. That's why now they put all of their content online, videos, Instagram, podcast. I don't know if they're doing podcasting as well. But it has to evolve. Evolve or die. Me, that's the way I see it. And I think that's what happened to those other businesses, Kina STV, Channel O. You don't evolve, you die.
Because the music changed so much, ikakuwa zile za nini, ikakuwa scary. Alafu kwanza nini, tutabonga juu ya essay, because I feel like your knowledge of essay is going to be much more than mine, because me essay muiangaliaga tu from the outside, and from the outside looks like a scary place. I don't know. I don't know how scary that is. But vile tunabonga juu ya nini, unaweza jiclassify as a tech nerd, ama like apart from music, what else do you wanajipataga huko ndani yake? Kuska saizi kumekuwa na the whole debate of what is Starlink going to change. Cause nikuwa nafikiria mbele, nikuwa nafikiria Starlink would be a game changer because inge make internet kwe cheaper in rural areas. But I don't think that's going to happen. But unakuanga mtu wa hizo ila kuangalia, kusisi saa watu tunafanya podcast, we really want internet to spread, so that we can fight radio.
True.
Yeah.
Do you still feel like you're fighting radio?
By fighting radio, I mean just with advertisers. We want the advertisers to also start looking at us instead of kuangalia traditional media, because but we are not fighting. We're in very different whatevers. We have more freedom, because I also feel like radio would be very boring kusikiza watu for too long. Ukidrive, you need music, but podcast it's different because people can goof around and,
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know, me I like to look at problems as opportunities, you know, which is why the biashara we started, OB Africa, the creative agencies, does that, you know. It's basically try and figure out, you as a content creator, you know, you have this platform that you have a bunch of loyal audiences that come to on a weekly or however often basis. How do you monetize that? How do you then connect that with a brand that is looking to connect with your audience? You know, how do we package that for it to be beneficial to both parties without the audience feeling like, this guy is just doing for us ads, you know? Umeva bets G, which one just here? You know, it needs to be impactful in that way, not just like t-shirts and whatever. So for me, that's the space that I'm more interested in, is How do we bring these worlds together? Because guys of corporate, they know that this is where the culture is.
Yeah.
They know, they just don't know how to engage, how to connect, how to who are the particular movers and shakers of these particular industries. They don't know, and so we want to bring those worlds together. So with not just music, but all creative. There's a gap, and that's what we're trying to do, to bridge that gap.
Yeah. Kitu funny ni me when I think about OB Africa, I just thought it's the music side. Kuna a whole creative agency.
Yeah. It's a whole creative agency.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've done many things. We launched Fenty in Kenya.
Yeah. Okay.
We work with various international brands and
ni Fenty gani tena?
We launched Fenty in Kenya. We've done Omanyala. Before he had gone for Olympics. We did his documentary ad with Odibets, Odi Mtani. And at the time, I think alikuwa banned for doping.
Yeah.
Right. So now he was trying to come back from this ban. So he was training with rugby guys because his background was in rugby.
Yeah.
Because when you're banned from athletics, they don't even let you inside the stadiums. You can't train with guys, you can't hang out with Nini, you're excommunicated. It's crazy. But this guy went, he was like, "Sir, may I still believe I can run?" Achani train Asewa Rouge. So he just went train, started doing races, qualifying for next races, qualifying. And then now he's, the fastest man in Africa.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's still dope.
He's still amazing.
Alafu vile umesema excommunicated menikumbusha John Wick excommunicado.
Ndivyo Omanyala excommunicado sana.
Yeah, so nini Fenty mlipataje? Uliingia kwa inbox ya Rihanna? Like how because I remember seeing the launch and I'm like, damn, Fenty is in, because I think even she tweeted about it.
Yeah.
So it was such a huge.
Yeah.
Ulipataje yo?
There was a lot of noise about it. Honestly, just through networks. One of the things may really believe in is kujiuza. If you don't say what you do, there's no way anyone will know. And so every conversation that we would have would be like, me and my partners would be like, we have this agency, it's called OB Africa, this is what we do, this is what we do, this is what we do. And you have to go through a process of interviewing. We interviewed for that particular job for months. Months. Okay. They're taking you through different exercises. Do you actually understand what it means to do this? Can you actually do it? And so we're really, really going through that Nini with other agencies that have been there for years and things, and then it happened, and it was successful.
It was successful because I remember
the brief as we got was we want pandemonium. Pandemonium, yani
kila mtu ongea.
Everybody needs to be talking about it.
I think that was there.
Yeah, they were talking about it for the wrong reasons, because Kenyans, I think, we also were I think Africa's most premium haters.
Dile, like people started talking about dressing, huh?
Just the dress code.
Dress code, ilikuwa I think Wambosha. It was not
there
the
were
one.
So many
I
people that were being dragged over there. Because the thing is, I think there was a misunderstanding from the audience. I think it was the time when Rihanna had just done Met Gala with her pregnancy, and they put a statue of her. So guys, since they associate Fenty with Rihanna, they were assuming that that's supposed to be the dress code. But the dress code that was coming from the global team was, this is Fenty Fresh. What does Fenty Fresh mean? Nothing. It means absolutely nothing. It means if you want to come in the way that you're dressed now, that's what makes you comfortable.
Kuja hivo,
because the brand is an inclusive brand. They're not trying to tell, oh, you can't come, you can't come, you can't come. It was Fenty is for everyone. It's meant to include everybody. So come vile unafaa, the way you dress, come.
By any chance ngoma yako Obi, Miss Obi, did it influence you naming your company? Because yana najuaga ngoma game nimaliza Obi did it influence, like there's no connection between those
actually
two?
It's the other way around.
the company influenced.
I always knew I wanted to have a company called Obi. In fact, I always wanted people to call Nairobi Obi. Right? I was trying to make a nickname for Nairobi.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you of course you were in New York, guys are like, "Oh, where you from?" I'm like, "I'm from the Obi. I'm from Obi." You know. Of course, we had 254, we had Nai, we had Kanairo, we had all of these different ones, you know. And I was like, maybe we need a new nickname for Nai, you know. So I was like, Obi. Obi sounds nice, you know. And then that's what influenced the song. Since I was like, I want to make a song for Nairobi because I love this city. I love the city more than any other place in the world. So to do that in my own way, I had to use the word Obi.
Well, that was a good dedication.
Miss Nairobi of fire.
That was a really dope name.
Kanye also really inspired that the idea of how to pay homage to a city. You know, he has this song. If you don't know by now, I'm talking about Shout Town. Did you ever think of me? You know, and he talks about, you know, the city like it's a babe. You know, I met this girl when I was 3 years old, and what I love most, she had so much soul. You know, and he's talking about Chicago. And I was like, wow, that's so brilliant to make Chicago a person. Because that's what it feels like sometimes. You know, the way we have our love-hate relationship for the city. You know, it feels like a relationship with a person. So I was like, I wanted to really capture that feeling in the song.
I love you nini vile niliwambia mimi nikabuda. So I made this Kanye Ali pia he also took it from Common. So now Common is the one who did that as an ode to hip hop. I met this girl when I was 12 years old. What I loved about her, she had so much soul. So now Common goes to like
a sample.
I don't like how these goofies do her, taking her to the sewer. Now slamming her, taking her to the sewer. Now Das Effects, Onyx. Ilikuwa hiyo nini ya nini. So
personification.
So hii idea ya like Obi Africa, that's like something you always wanted to do. It's not like ati uliamua tu ku now let me, because a lot of artists inakwaga let me diversify my portfolio. Let me do this. It's something ulikuwa nataka kudo. That's why you had the idea of
for the longest time, because I've always been a guy for biz and in some way entrepreneurial, you know. When I was going to uni, I wanted to go and study music. My mother told me, cool, great, I support you, but just in case things go different along the way and you want to change your mind or you find another passion, do another degree at the same time. So I had to study 2 degrees at the same time, one which is a music one is a business one. So I had that nini with me all along, right?
Okay, wacha sani rewind basi because I think we'll have to talk about this now. Let's talk about your childhood.